Hey Clashers, this is Chief 3 Star, and today I'm going to bring you a video that brings all the sneak peeks into one. Supercell's been releasing all these sneak peeks over the last 4 or 5 days, and I'm bringing it together into one video, and I'm going to give you some insight on how I see some of these being used in strategy. And anyways, hopefully this will be an easier video to catch up on all the sneak peeks. So I'm stealing this video because I'm not one of Supercell's favorites. So they didn't release this to me, but I'm just stealing these clips of videos from other Clashers. Most of them are from Clash on Gone, whom I'm a subscriber for. But anyways, just so you know, a little bit of credit. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for it. Maybe I will. We'll see. Anyways, so the first update was, first sneak peek was Dragon level 5. And let's just go through this so you can see they've changed the look of the dragon a little bit, fire-breathing eyes, and you know, they've I think the biggest change, they've bumped Dragon level 4 down to Town Hall 9, which you see there. And because for me, dragons I used a lot in Town Hall 7 and Town Hall 8. Amazing troops for that. In Town Hall 9 and Town Hall 10, not as much. You don't see as many players using them in Town Hall 9 and Town Hall 10. Maybe Dragon level 4 at Town Hall 9 will work. Town Hall 10 we'll still see, maybe on some lower level Town Hall 10s. But you don't see a lot of dragons being used at those higher levels. So maybe it'll come back with Town Hall 9. Maybe dragons will be a bigger player in Town Hall 9 now that level 4 dragons are in Town Hall 9. But we'll just have to wait and see. A second air sweeper is added at Town Hall 9 to help go battle the dragons that'll be coming more probably. And we'll see how that works. So that was the first sneak peek, is dragons. And like I said, we're going to jump through this, and we're not going to watch all of this because I want to get through all 5 sneak peeks. But you can see dragons in this replay they did 2-star max Town Hall 10. So maybe we'll see dragons. We'll just have to play with them and see how overpowered they are. So that's dragons. Dragons level 5. So the next update is new leagues. This is the next sneak peek they did, and they added a Titan and a Legends League. So after Champions now goes up to 3,200, or sorry, 4,099, and Titan will kick in from there. So Titans are basically, let's speed up here. We're gonna go up here to 107. Like I said, I'm gonna speed through this one because this only affects a few players. So this is the top level trophy pushers. I'm not a huge trophy pusher, but maybe I will be because this is kind of cool. At some point maybe I'll get there. But basically, Titan now starts at 4,100, and then the Legend League is going to start at 5,000 plus trophies. And they did this because the top level players were having a hard time moving anywhere in that league and being competitive. So now this is interesting because once they get into this Legend League, their trophies are going to be reset at the beginning of every season. There is something here that applies to every league, and that is the leagues are now 1 month instead of being 2 weeks. But once they get into this league, it'll be reset every month and drop back down to 5,000. But they'll earn a certain number of legend trophies that never go away. And so I think if they win, the tournament's over, they'll whatever they go. So if they get to 5,230, then they'll earn 230 Legends trophies that will go onto their profile and will never be lost. So I think this will really be the new way to see who the very top player in the world is, but also be able to stay competitive and be able to find matches, because those top level players, I mean, when they go to find a match, they sit there and they call it in the clouds, and they be in the clouds for a long, long time. So legend trophies are never lost, and so those ones that they add at the end of each season, that'll be the ultimate symbol of prestige according to Clash of Clans. So we'll see how that plays out. Anyways, that was the next update. Again, it doesn't apply to all of us, only those high-level trophy pushers. The one thing that does apply to all of us is 1 month season and tournaments. So even in our seasons and tournaments, and really that shows how many donations you've done in clan over that amount of time. So those have been lengthened out to be 1 month rather than 2 weeks. So let's go to the next update. The first one we saw was on dark spells. So they introduced a dark spell factory, and each day they've been coming out with a new spell that'll be part of that. Um, the dark spell factory, you can see it in this screenshot here. We'll watch a little bit of this video, but they've also changed how spells work in general. You can see there's 7 of 11. So now that's the total number of spells you can have, but dark spells count as 1, regular spells count as 2. Because when you see this, you think 11 spells, that's a ton. As right now, as a Town Hall 10, you can have um, 5 regular spells. Well, in this system, a regular spell takes 2 storage capacities. So basically, as a Town Hall 10, now you could take 5 regular spells and 1 dark spell, or a mixture of the two. But it's not a huge increase. But obviously, you could take 11 dark spells. But the dark spells are a little bit underpowered compared to the normal spells, and so they only take one one space. So you'll see that the first one they introduced was the poison spell. How I see this one being used is mostly when it comes to uh, opposing clan castle troops. You can see it takes out wizards, witches, and low-level troops really quickly. It also affects the heroes. It takes quite a few more to take out like a dragon or P.E.K.K.A. or a golem, of course, and so it may not be as effective against those, and you can see that. He explains the same thing I was just saying, but there's a new interface on how your spells, how your armies, and everything else works. This tab here will take you to a screen that's very similar to War Attack. That's how they updated that just recently. When you go into war, it shows you whether your heroes are ready, your spells are ready, and your armies, which will be nice. You can see that at any time in one view. And there you go. So that was a view of what I was just telling you. Which I think is super nice. A lot of times when I'm just raiding, I forget what's in my clan castle, and so being able to see everything is in one screen is pretty nice. But again, the poison spell, one strategy I see maybe working is dropping this poison spell right outside a. Let me just go back here. What I see happening, and a good strategy I think, is if I was attacking this base and know I can lure it from here, but it's gonna be hard to lure them all out. Or if I was gonna just do my attack and couldn't really, if there's one where it's really hard to lure, and say I'm gonna attack from down here, maybe I drop the poison spell right outside that clan castle and start my attack. So as those troops are coming out, they're passing through that poison, and it's eliminating those low-level troops pretty easily. So I think that'll be a pretty good strategy. The other thing that's really nice is spells can be queued. In other words, you can have one in backup, because what used to happen is you could fill your storage, your spell storage, and couldn't put anything in, so you go raid, and then you'd have to come back out and queue one up. Well, now you can queue them up, and they'll just start brewing those spells as soon as while you're raiding, and as soon as you use those spells, which is really nice. So that's a nice little update to the spell factory, and I think that'll be a nice addition. So anyways, this is a poison spell. Let's jump on to the earthquake spell. This one, I don't see I don't really know what I'll use this one for yet. I don't see it being very good because it doesn't really do that much damage. I mean, when you see in this release they did, in this release video, you'll see them drop it on a builder hut, and a lightning spell typically can take out quite a bit of a builder hut. But maybe you have one on board. You see it hits pretty well. This is a max thing, so maybe you have 1 or 2 on board in case you've been in those raids where your queen is sitting there hitting the town hall, and it comes down to the very last second, and town hall doesn't fall. So, and here's Clash on Gon's things: high hit point buildings. Or a building that has only a small percentage of hits left. And so maybe that's what he was showing, is that it does just as much damage to the town hall as it did that builder's hut, which is weird. So maybe it does a higher amount of damage. We'll get the details on that. And so maybe it would, I've done that before where I'm desperate to get 50%, so I drop a lightning spell on a builder's hut that's out in the corner and wipes it out. But maybe this one will be more effective on high hit point buildings. So that is the earthquake spell, and I don't see that one being super useful, but we'll see. So the last one they just announced today was the Hast Spell, and this basically, let me get rid of that for you, is similar to Rage. It speeds up your troops. It actually makes your troops faster than Rage does, but it doesn't increase their damage or how fast how fast they're dropping bombs and how much damage is being done. So speed, but not damage. And so again, I don't think it's quite as awesome as a rage spell, but it only takes up one storage space. So I see this this being really useful is if you're using balloons or something like that, and there's a lot of storage out here. Like let's say this canyon wasn't here, it was further back in, and they had all these storage buildings and stuff like that. And I could see it really good for luring clan castle troops because I do that sometimes where my giant has to get to this wall before to lure the troops. Let me just go back so you can see a little bit better. Sorry. You've seen this where like to lure this clan castle, you got to get right up to this edge, but you have to drop your giant way out here, and before you can get there, you got archer towers and cannons and an expo sitting right here shooting him, and so you don't know if he'll get there fast enough, and so you end up having to take 2 or 3 giants. So I see the haste being very useful because it only takes up one spell to drop it there, drop your giant, so the giant can get there really quick and lure the clan castle. So that's one way. The other way I see it being really useful is you're dropping balloons or something on the outskirts. Again, there's a lot of storages in the way before they can get in there and start doing damage. Put down a haste. And the reason that's better than a rage is, again, it only takes one spell, but also if you're putting a rage out here, you don't really want to put the rage over the storages and stuff like that because you want the rage where it's doing extra damage right on top of the inferno towers, the expos, or whatever. But the haste, if you're just trying to get past some storages, the haste is a perfect spell for that. So that's my strategy take on the haste. He says the haste and the rage movement increases, and anyways, I think there'll be some interesting strategies on that. I can see haste being really good for, like I said, luring and getting over that kind of thing. So anyways, that's basically the main sneak peeks we've seen so far. I'm hoping for some other simple things, hoping that our heroes can be used during war, even if they're being upgraded. That one ticks me off the most. But anyways, this has been a wrap-up and my strategy take on some of these new things. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you like seeing it all in one place. If you do, hit my subscribe button. Not this one up here. That's not mine. that's the one I stole it from. So hit my subscribe button right down here and like it. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think. And again, hopefully I don't get in trouble from Supercell for this one. Thanks, guys. Clash on.